Welcome to our deep dive into the urgent world of climate change in 2025. With global temperatures hitting record highs and ice caps melting at alarming rates, understanding the facts has never been more critical. In this video, we'll explore the latest developments and what they mean for our planet. Ready for a whirlwind tour of today's climate reality? Let's jump right in. Fact 1. Record-breaking temperatures. The Earth's thermostat isn't just rising, it's setting off alarms. June 2024 smashed previous temperature records for that month, while July 22nd of the same year became the hottest day recorded since 1940. These soaring temperatures contribute to more frequent and severe heat waves across the globe, stressing power grids, exacerbating wildfires, impacting human health. The urban heat island effect makes cities like Phoenix and Delhi sizzle dangerously, pushing residents to find innovative cooling solutions. It's a clear signal that our planet's temperature regulation is off-kilter due to increased greenhouse gas emissions. Such extremes underscore the urgent need for climate action. Each record broken is not just a statistic, but a sign of the increasing volatility of our weather systems. Fact 2. Melting ice caps accelerating sea level rise. Imagine vast tracts of ice, larger than some countries, disappearing at a rate that alarms scientists. Antarctica and Greenland, the planet's largest reserves of fresh water, are shedding ice 6 times faster than 4 decades ago. This meltdown is more than a spectacular statistic. It's a direct contributor to rising sea levels, which are expected to displace millions by the end of the century. Cities like Miami and Dhaka are on the front line, facing existential threats from flooding that could erase landmarks and displace community. The image of polar bears on shrinking ice floes is just one poignant chapter of this unfolding climate saga. As these ice caps melt, the potential for drastic sea level rise increases, posing an imminent threat to coastal ecosystems and human settlements alike. Fact 3. Rising sea levels threaten coastal areas. Since 1880, the global sea level has risen about 20 centimeters, but the future projections are far more alarming, indicating a potential rise of over a meter by 2100. This profound increase puts coastal metropolises like New York, Mumbai, and Tokyo at risk of significant recurrent flooding, effectively transforming them into part-time aquatic environments. The impact transcends the physical, threatening the very history and cultural identity of these places. Nations like the Maldives and Tuvalu faced existential threats, with their populations at the forefront of becoming the first climate refugees. The situation underscores the urgent need for comprehensive global responses that include both mitigation and adaptation strategies to safeguard vulnerable communities and maintain the integrity of global heritage. Fact 4. More frequent and severe weather events. Climate change is intensifying the world's weather, increasing the frequency and severity of hurricanes, floods, and droughts. The 2024 hurricane season highlighted this trend, with storms forming earlier and striking with greater intensity than in past decades. These extreme weather events are causing unprecedented economic damages, exemplified by Hurricane Ian, which inflicted over $50 billion in damages. But the impact goes beyond dollars. It affects real people. Communities across the globe are forced to continually rebuild and recover, showcasing immense human resilience. The increasing regularity and intensity of these events call for an urgent reevaluation of our preparedness and response strategies to better protect and support affected populations. Fact 5. Ocean acidification endangers marine life. The oceans are undergoing a dire chemical transformation, not just warming, but also becoming increasingly acidic. This rise in acidity, caused by the oceans absorbing more CO2 from the atmosphere, poses a grave threat to marine ecosystems. The shift disrupts the delicate balance of calcium carbonate, crucial for the development of coral and shellfish exoskeletons. The iconic Great Barrier Reef has witnessed a dramatic 50% decline in coral coverage in just 2 decades, signaling a severe disruption in marine biodiversity. But the impact extends beyond the ocean itself. It threatens the livelihoods of nearly 500 million people worldwide who depend on marine resources for food, economic activities, and cultural heritage. This global crisis requires urgent action to reduce CO2 emissions and protect our marine environments, as the consequences of inaction are far-reaching, affecting food security and economic stability across the globe. Fact 6. Biodiversity at risk. Climate change is relentlessly altering the Earth's landscapes, and with it, the habitats that myriad species depend on. As temperatures rise and ecosystems shift, animals from the smallest bees to the majestic Bengal tigers are struggling to adapt. The Amazon rainforest, a critical carbon sink and the so-called lungs of the planet, is nearing a critical tipping point due to rampant deforestation and climate impacts. This potential shift from a carbon sink to a carbon source could dramatically accelerate global warming, creating a feedback loop that drives further climate change. The consequences of biodiversity loss are profound, disrupting ecosystems and the services they provide, such as pollination, water purification, and climate regulation. Fact 7. Forests are disappearing. Visualize Earth stripped of its lush green crown. The world's forests, critical ecosystems like the Amazon, Congo, and the rainforests of Southeast Asia, are being cleared at an unprecedented rate. Forests are pivotal as major carbon sinks and biodiversity reservoirs, regulating global rainfall patterns and providing vital habitats. The loss of these green giants isn't just an environmental disaster. It threatens the very survival of countless species, including humans. Driven by global demand, industries such as agriculture, logging, and mining are the primary culprits behind deforestation. The erosion of these natural defenses exacerbates climate change and spells catastrophe for indigenous communities whose lives and cultures are intertwined with these forests. Every tree felled adds to the global crisis, making it imperative to reevaluate our consumption patterns and enforce stringent environmental protections. Fact 8. Climate impact on food security. Our planet's agricultural heartlands are facing unprecedented threats. Altered rainfall patterns and increased extreme weather incidents are already affecting crop productivity. Vital staples like wheat and maize are witnessing declining yields, heightening the risk of a global food crisis. This looming threat could destabilize regions already vulnerable to food scarcity, such as sub-Saharan Africa and Central Asia. Rising food prices could trigger widespread economic instability and social unrest. The challenge extends beyond mere adaptation. It requires a proactive approach to agricultural practices, ensuring food security by integrating climate resilience into farming techniques. Innovations in crop science, water management, and sustainable farming practices could hold the key to feeding the future world without further depleting its resources. Fact 9. Economic costs of inaction. Ignoring the ramifications of climate change is a costly mistake. The economic impact of inaction is projected to spiral into trillions annually by the end of the century. This includes extensive damage to infrastructure, reduced agricultural output, and increased healthcare costs due to climate-induced health crises. Conversely, investing in renewable energy and sustainable technologies not only helps mitigate these costs, but also drives economic growth through new industries and job creation. The transition to a green economy presents not just an environmental imperative, but a substantial economic opportunity, possibly the most significant of the 21st century. Fact 10. Urgent need for action. The fight against global warming is a race against time. Current policies are setting us on a trajectory towards a 3 to 4 degrees Celsius increase by 2100, far beyond the 1.5 degrees Celsius target set to avoid the worst effects of climate change. This isn't just about reducing future warming, it's about ensuring a sustainable and livable future for all. The path forward includes scaling up renewable energy technologies, improving energy efficiency, and adopting sustainable agricultural practices. Every action taken or neglected has profound implications, emphasizing the critical need for immediate and sustained global efforts to combat climate change. All right, that's a wrap on today's deep dive into the pressing facts about climate change in 2025. If you found this video enlightening, don't just sit there, smash that like button. And hey, if you haven't yet, click subscribe to join us on this channel.